3 hot, 3 not. This is the series in which I look at the 3 hottest wrestlers coming out of the previous PLE, and then I wait a week of Raws and SmackDown to see where the landscape is and the dust has settled. Who are the 3 hottest right now and the 3 not hottest right now? And first, we're going to start off with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, wow. I've been wanting to get him on my MVP or my hottest list for a while now, but the stars never aligned. It seemed like he would never have a PLE, or he would never do it 3 weeks in a row, or whatever the case may be, but right now, he's on a roll. He is red hot, which is even crazier because he lost his PLE match at Crown Jewel to Seth Rollins. However, even in defeat, he looked amazing. They kind of played it off was that he went for one too many tsunamis, and that was his mistake. So it was more of a rookie mistake that cost him the match than Seth Rollins actually beating him. The wily veteran was able to overcome the upstart. He still looked awesome and amazing. It took, what, a curb stomp outside, a curb stomp inside, and then a curb stomp on steel step. He still definitely looked like a monster. Plus, when it was all said and done, Seth Rollins is walking down the aisle as the victorious champion. Well, not champion, but veteran. And then Bronson Reed gets up like a monster. He's like, "I'm not done with you." It was a sight. So even in a loss, he was protected and still looked good. And then the next night on Monday Night Raw, there was a fatal 4-way match with all the main eventers, and he came out and literally decimated the Monday Night Raw main event scene. Sheamus, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins all took a beatdown from Bronson Reed, and it was crazy, awesome, amazing. Bronson Reed is just, he's like just been such a joy to watch over these past couple months, just beating up everybody on a tear. When Bronson Reed shows up, just sit down and watch, because you're about to see a train wreck in all the good ways. Red hot. And this belt right here is red hot, but you want to know what belt is stone cold? This one right here. And it can be yours, or this one right here can be yours. All you got to do is comment below. Once I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to give one of them away. Your pick. I don't care. The Winged Eagle too. Caw-caw. Any of the 3, your choice. I'll do free shipping, free everything. All you gotta do is comment below, hit the bell notification, subscribe, and, well, you know, maybe a thumbs up if you are so kind. Anyways, let's get back to the video after I put this belt back up. But yeah, could be yours. Just comment. Who is not hot? Gunther. Oh, this one pains me. This one absolutely pains me to say, because I love Gunther, and he was such on just a tear, a streak. He was getting better and better, and not just because of his in-ring ability, but on the mic, his smug put-downs, his backhanded compliments, everything about Gunther was just getting better and better and better, and then Crown Jewel happened. First off, he loses at Crown Jewel completely clean, even though there was plenty of opportunity for Cody Rhodes' rivals to get involved, or even Gunther's rivalry of Goldberg, who I hate Goldberg, but I wish Goldberg would have got involved and somehow made Gunther lose. But regardless, he lost to Cody Rhodes. So you could say no shame, someone had to lose, fine. But then the next night on Raw, he kind of was like, okay, he kind of like, you know what, the past is the past, let's move on. But then we see teases of a Ludwig breakup. But here's the thing, I'm gonna cheat a little because of the timing of this video. There's actually 2 Monday Night Raws that I'm gonna take into consideration, and this is what cinched it. Gunther got cooked by Damian Priest. Now, I wish I could actually put Damian Priest as a super red-hot character right now, but there was just too many to choose from, but he looked amazing against Gunther, so props to Damian Priest, but at the cost of Gunther, oh, no, I hated that. I absolutely hated that, so we're not taking Damian Priest into consideration. Congratulations for his awesome promo, but Gunther looked pathetic. Oh my gosh, he looked scared, he looked weak. This is Gunther, the final boss. This was the guy who was supposed to be the final boss, take up the mantle after Roman was toppled. This was the guy that everybody couldn't beat, that had to beat, and Gunther, he just looked weak. Okay, I get it. Maybe they're trying to build some character into him, but I don't see why they need to. Not everybody needs to have the backstory of Thanos. You don't always need the most compelling motivations of a character. Sometimes you're just a James Bond villain that wants to take over the world because you were born to do it. And that's what Gunther was. He's just a James Bond villain that is evil for evil's sake. Alright? Let Kevin Owens be Thanos. Let Kevin Owens have the right reasoning. Let Roman Reigns be the mafia trying to protect his family. You know, let those guys do it. Gunther's just evil for evil's sake. Now he looks like he is full of self-doubt. And then Ludwig Kaiser came out and then they got into it. So now he's losing his sidekick. He lost to Cody Rhodes. He's the secondary champion. Just not a good look for Gunther. Not hot indeed. But who is red hot? Well, that's gotta be Sami Zayn, the honorary Uce. Okay, out of nowhere, in a time span of 3 weeks, he went from nothing to smoking hot. Sami Zayn is now reinserted into the bloodline as the honorary Uce, and it was all the feelings, all the good feelings. I absolutely loved it. It started off right before Crown Jewel, but we're only talking Crown Jewel, and he comes out and he saves Jey Uso, but he kicks Roman in the face, and it's like, oh my god, what is going to happen? Then Monday Night Raw happens, and Jimmy and Jay are fighting over whether or not Sami is a family, and then they say, come to SmackDown. Sami comes to SmackDown, and there's this big old hubbubaloo of, no, you're not family, you wasted my time. Roman being the old Roman, not the face Roman that we think he is. No, Roman is still Roman of before. He's just a little softer around the edges, but Roman is still a giant jerk. And I love it. I actually love this Roman. I'm glad they didn't change too much of his character. And he's like, Sami's not it. And then at the end of SmackDown, because Roman kind of alienated everybody again, he comes out, he starts getting beat down, the Usos come, and boom! Here's Sami Zayn, saves the day once more after there was a slight little swerve of is he not going to join Solo? And boom, kicks Solo in the face, and Sami puts up the 1, Roman puts up the 1, and now we've got the OG bloodline back. We're just missing the wise man, and so good. Sami Zayn in the bloodline, peak. Even the promo he had where he's like, you love me, Roman. Just great stuff. Just a callback to better days. Just 2 years ago can be nostalgia, but whatever the case may be, Sami Zayn, red hot. Not? I guess this is a championship edition because Nia Jax not looking good right now. I am a Nia Jax fan. I know a lot of people are like, Nia Jax is unsafe, Nia Jax is this, Nia Jax is that. That was Nia Jax like 2 or 3 years ago. She's fine now. She's great now. Does she make botches? Yeah, I guess, but whatever. We all do. We all make mistakes. I botch through life every single day, and Nia Jax, up until now, has been on a tear. She lost at Crown Jewel, and then, she was protected. There was a lot of interference. I definitely wish Gunther would have been as protected as Nia had been, but then when she came out of it, I don't know. It just seems like she's floundering right now. We're just kind of waiting for Tiffany Stratton to eventually cash in on her. But I will say this, it was very difficult finding 3 people to put on the cold list, the not hot list, and I kind of just went with her because of how directionless she is. I think she was more of a victim of Crown Jewel, which was almost meaningless, and then War Games, where she doesn't have a blood feud and she has to be fit into something. So 2 PLEs in a row, and then we're just waiting for Tiffany to cash in. She's just directionless. I wouldn't necessarily say she's cold, maybe lukewarm at the moment, but yeah, it was difficult finding 3 people to put on the list for it. Almost everybody being super interesting right now. Even Karrion Kross is interesting right now. So it's like, sorry, Nia, you're so high on the card, you should be more interesting than you are. So you make the cold list. So we'll do 2 cold in a row, not hot in a row, because I want to end on a positive note. Cody Rhodes is our final not hot person, and that sucks because he won the champion versus champion, so he should be red hot. However, the reason why I'm not putting him on the not hot list is because on SmackDown, it was a beautiful episode of SmackDown. It was great. I loved it. It was so entertaining, engaging, all the good stuff. And yet, Cody Rhodes, he wasn't even really on it. He was regulated, and I already did a video on this, so you can go watch that video if you want to hear my entire rant. But this is a more calm, collective version of that, and I'll just announce it in saying that here, our champion, our undisputed champion, is coming off a win from Crown Jewel, being the undisputed champion, and he doesn't even talk. He is regulated to going to the hospital with a friend. At the very least, he should have cut a promo at the hospital. And yet, nothing. He literally said nothing. It just made him look weak. Could you imagine if that happened to Stone Cold Steve Austin? Not seeking revenge, but just going to the hospital to make sure Mick Foley was okay. No, we need a fired up champion. Cody Rhodes should have been on fire that night. I gave a solution even. All we had to do was Cody could make sure Randy was okay, and then he walks off, and we see him get into a car, and he just peels out looking for Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens ran away. That's all we really needed, but they chose this really just, I don't know. Yeah, maybe down the road it's going to pay off when we have Randy versus Cody. It's like, you know, Cody is such a friend. He went to the hospital with them, but we need results now. We can have everything. If Cody would have just been so fired up at Kevin Owens, he wouldn't be on this list. But at the end of the day, he was regulated to a nurse on the hottest SmackDown. Coming off of a PLE, he said nothing. Sorry, he's on the cold list. And our final hot WWE wrestler is, well, you know, first let me say this. It was difficult narrowing it down. There was an argument to put Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair as a tag team on here because they're always just coming out looking good. Week in, week out, they look great and amazing. They had strong showings at the PLEs. Liv Morgan won against Nia Jax. The tag team champions won. They continue to win. They elevated the tag team titles. I have them as my MVP of last month. It's just, you know, the reason why they are not getting on here is because they are consistently hot. Honestly, they're just consistently being well written. And while that doesn't necessarily mean they can't make the red hot list, it's just right now, it's kind of like they're just holding their place. They're not moving up, they're not moving down, because it's hard to go any further up, honestly. But yeah, they're just kind of in a holding pattern, but that's great for them because they're in a very good position holding pattern. Not like mid-card holding pattern, but main event holding pattern. But the person that I'm going to put on this list is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a talking point. We're just kind of used to Liv, Jade, and Cargill right now that we're almost taking them for granted, and people aren't really talking about them at the water cooler. But Kevin Owens, they are. Kevin Owens, for the first time making the super red hot list, he's just unhinged. The way they're presenting him right now, very, very good, very, very unique. At the PLE, I didn't like how they did it. I didn't like this, I don't know, non-finish match, but it got the point across that Kevin Owens was a lunatic. That was just a unique, awesome brawl. And then they went to SmackDown, and again, Kevin Owens, he comes out and he pile drives Randy Orton, and the pile driver is sold like it murdered somebody, and it's how it should be. Go to AEW and they'll pile drive you 3 times, get up and just be a little wobbly, and then go for another 5 different pile drivers. And in WWE though, after years and years and years, they finally took a 3 minutes and put it over like the beast that it should be, and it was just crazy, and Kevin Owens just gets out of dodge. And it's like, sometimes less is more. Kevin Owens didn't need to talk. He didn't need to do this. He did one devastating move that Randy Orton, to his credit, sold it like he was dead or going to die. And yeah, it's just like, you want to see Kevin Owens get beat up now. You want revenge on Kevin Owens. You want Randy to recover and kill him. You want Cody Rhodes to put down the bedpan and avenge his friend. Kevin Owens is enemy number one, and he's justified. Remember earlier how I said sometimes you don't need to have justifications for your supervillains, but sometimes you do, and Kevin Owens definitely does. And then more questions are being raised. What about Sami now joining the Bloodline? How is Kevin going to react to that? Seth Rollins might be joining the Bloodline, which I absolutely hate, but how will Kevin react to that? It's like, Kevin is just going to be like the only sane person in a mad world. How are everybody joining the Bloodline? And that's why Kevin Owens is so red hot right now. He doesn't have to do a lot for a lot of things to happen around him at this point, because the storyline, the character is kind of just writing itself at the moment. And yeah, love Kevin Owens and where he's at and where he's going right now, because there's so many possibilities. Red freaking hot. So there you have it, your 3 hot and not wrestlers. Hurt me to put Gunther on here, but I gotta put my feelings aside and go with the facts. Hopefully next month, after beating Damian Priest, it's a full recovery there, because we need the ring general back. So what did you think? Did I miss a wrestler who you feel is red hot or ice cold? Put it in the comments below. You guys, you gals, have a great day.